Looks like we are live right now. I want to talk about relationships. I want to specifically talk about dating in 2025. And I want to speak to the ladies out there who are having a hard time in the dating process, meaning that you are not coming to a place in this dating period where you're totally satisfied. Sometimes men, we do not fully engage with any women that we're dating to take it all the way toward the end, so to speak. So I want to talk about that as soon as we get some viewers to come into this live. The process of dating, or the period of dating in which women are struggling and getting frustrated, they are actually, getting discouraged about dating, throwing it all away, meaning that they don't even want to date anymore, which is sad that we have gotten to this place. Once upon a time, dating was fun. Dating was something that we enjoyed doing because we saw the benefits that came through dating. We saw that it worked and the success rate was much higher. It was back in the early 80s, I believe it was. But now dating has diminished. Dating now is something that people do not want to do, especially speaking from the black community. Men have concluded that they choose to be a bachelor. They do not want to date. They do not want to be married. They do not want to be in a relationship with any woman. So they're choosing to be single. And this is an epidemic in the black communities. Men are rather to deny themselves the privilege to become a husband, um, and for some a father. So we're in a epidemic. We're in a crisis that could affect us for the next few hundred years, if this continues to go on from generation to generation. So what about dating? What about dating? How do we date in 2025? And I'm speaking from a man's point of view, and I want the women to try to understand where we're coming from when it comes to dating. Because if you don't understand our thinking and you continue to think the way you think, we won't have a good success rate when it comes to dating. Um, Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's a book out there. I encourage you to read it. So let's try to understand a man's point of view when he's dating. Okay, when he's dating a woman, because again, women are becoming frustrated. Women are becoming discouraged. Some are actually quitting and just choosing a life of celibacy and singleness. And if that's for you, that's fine. I don't want to say that what you're doing is totally wrong. Um, I believe it's God's will for both men and women to experience the joys that can come through marriage. I believe most women, a lot of women, do want to be a mother and they want to experience the joy of having children and being a wife. But they're having a hard time connecting with men in the dating process. First of all, let me say this from a Christian perspective, and I am a Christian. Okay, dating is not in the Bible. Okay, it's unbiblical. Um, there's only one relationship that the Bible talks about, and that's marriage. So when we do things that are not particularly ordained or coming from God, there's going to be a casualty rate and a low success rate because God did not ordain it. Okay. If you understand Hebrew and Jewish culture, they did not date, they courted, meaning the two people were intending to get married. They had intentions to get married, and it was a process where they would court. But dating here in America is totally opposite. The people are dating not to get married these days. They're dating for every other reason except marriage. Very few. Okay. So this is why we have a low success rate in dating. This is why we have men, women who have been let down from dating. Okay, so let's go back to, let's say we're dating. This is the man, and I'm speaking from a man's point of view, a man's perspective on why men date, why men choose to date, why men go on a date. And ladies, you're going to have to come to this reality, whether you like it or not. It's the truth, because again, I'm speaking from a man. Men date, okay, for one reason only, and that's to engage in sex. Okay, that's the ultimate purpose for us to go on a date and to engage in date. Any man tells you differently, he's lying to you. Okay, now that may not be his top priority. However, that's in his to-do list, is to get you in the bedroom. And ladies, you're going to have to come to this conclusion and try to understand where we're coming from a man's point of view. Number one, traditionally, the man is going to initiate the first date. Okay? He's going to do the asking. He's going to ask for the telephone number. He's going to make the telephone call, the text these days, or whatever have you. Okay, he's going to set the arrangement up. He's going to do the reservation at the 5-star, restaurant, wherever you guys are going. He's the one that's going to come pick you up. He's the one that's going to put gas in the car. He's the one that's going to pick up a gift, maybe a bouquet of flowers. He's the one that's going to do all of these things. He's going to pay for the dinner that you all ate, yours and his. And what does he get at the end of the night? A kiss. Okay. Now, ladies, you have to be fair. There is nothing in this world for free. All right. There's nothing you can give him at that time, whether he's dating you for a day, a week, or a month, or months. Okay? There's nothing for free, ladies. And this is why men ghost women during the dating time or the dating period. This is why you don't hear from him again. This is why he don't respond to your text. This is why he don't respond to your phone call. This is why whenever you are talking to him, he shows you little to no interest, because, again, men date for sex. Women have to stop thinking that we need what you need. We don't. We're two differently created creatures from God. Okay, men don't need affection. We don't need attention. We don't need companionship, because when man was created, he was created in singleness. It doesn't give us the time how long Adam was single in the Bible. So he lived a life of singleness for the longest time, until finally God saw that he needed a helper that was comparable to him, and he created Eve. But he could have lived hundreds of years being single. So men, we don't have a problem being single, And there's women out there who don't have a problem being single. And that's fine. Again, it's not about being happy being single, because marriage is a gift from God. And it's just like any other gift. It's to be received or rejected. So marriage and a marriage relationship is a need for any of us. So we got to stop saying, I don't need a man and I don't need a woman. That's ignorance. Marriage is a gift that's sent from God, that it's your decision to either enter into marriage or not to enter into marriage. If you do, you experience the joys, the enhancement that marriage can give to your life. It enhances your life. It adds value to your life. In fact, the book of Proverbs says this. He said, whosoever finds a wife, what? He finds a good thing and he obtains favor. In other words, there's an amount of favor that God has confined and put in marriage only. That when a person enters into that marriage, they get an additional favor upon their life. There's a favor that comes from God that's simply reserved in marriage. And if you do not marry, you won't experience that favor. You won't experience, young lady, of being a woman, a mother, a wife. And you deprive yourself of that by living a single life. Now, can a woman live single? Most women, a lot of women can. I hear it all the time. Can men live single? Absolutely, they can. They do it all the time. But that's not the best that I believe God has for one of us, because for simply, there's something in the marriage. There's something in the marriage covenant that's only reserved for people who wish to say, I do. So here's the thing, ladies, I want you to do. Am I still on this live? Yes. If you're dating and you're dating men and you haven't reached the place where you're just totally saying, you're done with dating, before you go out on the date, or if you're on the first date, while you're on the first date, you've got to talk about the sexual intimacy between you two. Because he needs to know where he stands with you. It's nothing worse for a man to do this, that, and the other, the A, B, C, D, and then you have everything. You've experienced good food. You've experienced the atmosphere that restaurants can give you. You experienced a heated and air-conditioned car without walking or using, public transportation. You've experienced whatever other gifts of love or tokens of appreciation for you during the time of your dating process, and then you don't do anything in return. Let me tell you, woman, you're going to get trapped along with thousands of other women who are in that trap of dating and going in from one date to another date, to one date to another date, another date. And at the end of the day, before they know it, their life has passed them by. And they see themselves getting older while their friends or their family, those women are getting married, or they see their life just slowly passing by and they're still hugging a pillow at night. Let's be real. They're not hugging a man. They want to have a man in their bed, especially during the cold season like we're in right now. They don't want to be, a lot of women don't want to be, in the house by themselves and hugging a pillow at night. They want to hug a man. But if they get caught in that dating cycle of not understanding the process or the intimacy between a man and a woman, if you don't get that, you're going to get caught in that dating cycle. And you're going to be 35, and you're going to be 36, and 37, 38, 40. You're going to go all through this dating, and finally, you're just going to throw your hands up if you don't understand how the sex works between the two people in that dating process. I hate for that to happen to you, but I'm just being honest with you from a man's perspective. There's nothing in this life for free. And the only thing, ladies, that you can give a man is your body. You don't have no rap game, okay? We don't care about your money. We don't care about your status. We don't care about what you do. We don't care about how much money you make. We don't care about nothing else, okay? From a sense, and women think that they can impress a man by how much money you got. Women think that they can impress a man by their status or their job title. That don't impress us. In fact, you can actually run men away from you because for some men that can be intimidating. So we're not impressed by what you have, okay? We're impressed by what you can give, all right? So in dating, when you're dating a man, before you take that first date, you've got to communicate to him about the sex. Because if not, you're going to mislead him. And if he feels as though that he's not getting anything in return, out of the date, and he's just being strung on, and you barely give him a kiss, you know, and he's got to fight for that. How much more you think he's going to be when it comes to time when you guys are in the bed together? So you got to consider that. I know it's a big pill to swallow, but that's the facts. Okay, men are dating for sex, right? Because we look at sex as the initiation of the relationship. We look at the intercourse between you and I as the beginning of this entire relationship. I hope that helps for you. Thanks for joining the live, and see you soon.